Welcome back to Facing the Crowd. We're chatting with Gomolemo Manche from Lerato Travels. Gomo, how would you describe your childhood growing up?
I grew up in a small mining town called Matlosana in the northwest. We grew up in a very fun, loving, nurturing environment. Our dad, he's a jokester of note. He always used to make us laugh and giggle, and the warmth in that environment actually taught us to love. If we weren't fooling around, obviously we would be helping our parents in their respective businesses. So that taught us the ins and outs of business as a whole, how to make your business grow and thrive.
What did you want to be when you were growing up, and when did the entrepreneurial bug then hit you?
I thought I wanted to become a singer. I actually had a recording contract at some stage of my life.
You can still sing. You can still go back to that.
Of course I can still sing. No, but I won't go back. I didn't think that I was suited for that environment. But in hindsight, I got to actually just jump into, because entrepreneurship was such a natural progression for us. My mom never wanted us to work for anybody. So my next best thing was to actually just open my own business. I studied, and then I opened a business at the same time.
And looking at the trajectory of your life, do you think it's gone according to plan, or has it been a surprise every step of the way?
It's not supposed to go according to plan. It's supposed to go according to God's plan, and that's what I abide by. I'm very grateful that we have gotten this far in our entrepreneurial journey. It's not something that I would have thought I would actually do, but I'm actually enjoying it. This journey has been amazing for me personally, because I got to experience how to create my own brand and how to actually run it successfully.
We managed to catch up with a few of those who know you best or closest to you. This is what they had to say about you.
Hello, my name is Gomolemo Manche, and I'm friends with Gomolemo Manche. It's been quite a bit, possibly the past 9 years. But as really close friends, I would say the past 5-6 years, where we've been completely inseparable. So it's been quite a journey. We met through one of my best friends. She's actually based in London now. We were pretty close, so I'm quite particular with the people that are in my life. If you are a close friend of mine, you'll be very, very close. So she met Gomolemo rather, I think they were in matric. And obviously she came into our circle. I think we went to some event, I think it was a dinner party, where we then met Gomolemo, and then we all became friends. We hung out together, you know. And then 3 years later, she had to move to London because she found the love of her life. So I was, left, not by myself. I have other close friends, but then, you know, in terms of the daily person that you confide in and all of that. So we were forced into each other's lives. So yeah, that's how we met, and it's been quite a journey, and appreciative of the journey as well. Gomolemo is incredibly private. She is loyal to the core, to her family, to her friends, and I think that's what attracted me to her personality more than anything. I'm a huge family person. So the loyalty and just being so giving is what I think is most similar about our personalities. So that's what I would say attracts us as two different girls. They feel quite a bit, but I would say our trip to London, when we went to go visit our friend, we went to a place called Mahiki London. It's a spot. I wouldn't say a club necessarily, because we don't do clubs. I'm claustrophobic, so I don't do crowded spaces, and they have to accommodate me because, you know, they don't have a choice. So it's a setting where you get to have dinner, cocktails, and I remember just reflecting, you know, on the friendship and just being appreciative of life in general. So I think those are the fondest memories when we travel together. You know, she's my travel buddy. So every time, whether it be a Cape Town and a quick short trip, London, Germany, we've had the opportunity and are fortunate enough to be able to travel the world. So yeah, it's always when we're out of our comfort zones that I have to literally be in the same bedroom with her, have spent that much more time together as opposed to just on a daily, let's go for dinner, let's do this, family meetings. It's being with a person on a daily basis that, you know, you get to know them even a bit more better. So it's those memories that are quite fond. I know and I always tell her this on a daily basis, and I think we're fortunate enough to be that close, you know, when she's going through whatever it is that she's going through, adversity, and, you know, she's not the only person that goes through that. It's the nature of being human, you know. And as a Black woman, as an entrepreneur, adversity is almost standard. It's part and parcel of the journey. So for me, to her, is that she's incredibly strong. I mean, it's been how many years running this. I know it gets very challenging, but what I can completely say to her is that she's one person that is made for this. She is strong. It gets challenging, but then at the same time, you know what, with adversity comes success. And she must just hang in there. It'll all make sense one day. So that's what I want to tell her.
So you mentioned that you were singing and in the music business before you actually migrated into other ventures.
Yes.
What were you dabbling in? What was the vision for that period of your life?
I just landed my recording deal. At home, I used to actually do performances for government functions, galas, street festivals. So that's where it started. And then Universal heard about my talent, and they actually signed me up.
Wow.
On the spot. I was sitting in the MD's office, and they said, actually, we want you as a recording artist. We're going to sign you up. And I was like, but I don't have a place to stay. And they actually said to me, we have KB who might be able to accommodate you. She was my idol at the time. So getting to live with her was like amazing. I became her backing vocalist, and I started actually recording some songs with her. So that's how that whole journey began.
And then when did you decide to make the switch though? I mean, it's an innate talent as well, so, and people were willing to back you up on it.
I realized that I didn't want to do it commercially. It's a talent, and as much as it's a talent, I didn't want to do it commercially because of that whole environment. I did not think it was conducive for where I saw myself in the future.
And then you go into the restaurant business. This is when News Cafe comes about. I mean, how did you then make that switch?
I actually worked for a year, and I identified a opportunity for franchising. It's the best form of getting into business because they outlay all of the things that you need to have. They make sure that they train you, etc., etc. So I thought that would be a very easy way to get into business and learn the ropes.
Now, getting back to Lerato Travel, upon you entering the world of travel, I mean, what are some of the challenges you face?
The immediate barrier to entry that I can think of is your licensing. The licensing to ticket for our customers. You need a huge capital outlay in order for you to actually be able to ticket for your clients. So that license in itself was very expensive to obtain, but we were able to garner a little bit of money in order for us to pay the guarantee to get that license.
So you reckon that would have been the biggest barrier to entry for you to
Definitely.
date? Financial services, I mean, did they play a role in supporting you? What were some of your struggles in that area?
We literally started with our own savings, and we were able to build from there. So access to funding is also a big issue. Even if you have a good track record, 6 years in, I still can't get funding. So that is also a bit of a challenge as a small enterprise. So yeah, there is that too.
How do you work around those challenges to obviously not let it get to you, but at some point you do want to progress, and the more capital you have, the more progression you are allowed to make?
Definitely, just make sure that you are delivering your services according to your client's specific needs. The more you deliver, the more money you'll make, and the more you'll build a sustainable business. So the customer is the one that you should be focusing on if you want to make your business a success.
The naysayers, the critics, I mean, the competition
Yes.
that you come into as you decide to enter the travel agency space. I mean, how did you not allow the naysayers to get to you? How did you continue as you were trying to implement your vision? And with that said, I mean, how have your competition even welcomed you in the space that you're in?
Well, I will say that most of my competition are actually my mentors. Duma Travels, Mr. Mtombeni is actually one of my advisors. So I go to him all the time if I have issues. So we're not, because in this space there are not a lot of black-owned travel agencies, we have found a way to actually unite and come together as travel agencies and just learn from each other. So I haven't had a lot of naysayers. In fact, I've had a lot of people just embracing me and saying, we needed somebody like you in this industry because there's not much representation. So I haven't had a lot of pushback in that regard.
In terms of the journey that you've experienced, obviously it's been ups and there's been some ups and downs. I mean, what are some of those pearls of wisdom you've garnered along the way that you would impart? Top 3 advice tips that you would like to give people who want to enter the space, who can sort of use your model and mimic what you've done this far?
As I mentioned before, mentorship. I wouldn't have done it if I wouldn't have done it as well if I didn't have advice from industry players. So seek out people who are in the industry that you can bounce ideas off of. And also it's very important for you to have a vision and a plan. Have a sales plan, have a sales strategy, have a financial strategy, and even a personal strategy, because you want to travel this journey being holistic and fulfilled, not just all business and no play.
You are a firm believer in giving back as well.
Yes.
How do you aim to impart, or how do you send the elevator back down when it's been sent up for you and you've been receiving blessings along the way?
In the past, I think 3 years, I've educated about two girls that I've crossed paths with. It hasn't been I haven't gone through the process through our foundation as yet.
So the foundation obviously aims to help others in need.
Yes.
And you're a firm believer in giving
In
back.
education.
So how do you aim to do that along the way?
We have formed a foundation as a family, my sister, my mother, and I, that we pick children or adults who have a need or who have a yearning to be educated. We take them and we take them through school. I've done a couple, I've done 2 so far. Not nearly as enough as I would like it to be, but yeah, that's how we plan on giving back moving forward.
Why do you think the need to invest in education was so important for you and for your sister and mom as well?
Knowledge is power. The more you know, the wiser you will be in your decision making. So that is why we chose education.
Now you mentioned having a vision is very, very important. Yeah. What can we expect from Lerato Travels going ahead?
I think I want to have a boutique hotel. That's one of the things that we would actually love to have, and a fleet of cars, either coaches or tour guide vans.
Yes.
That's the space that we want to play in.
dot, dot, dot,
Dot, dot, dot.
as the journey continues.
Yes.
Thank you very much for your time today. We wish you all the best. Thank you for flying the flag high as well for
thank you
women
so
in South
much.
Africa.
Thank you
and
so
all the
much.
best for your future endeavors.
All right, thank you.
As the saying goes, your wings already exist. All you have to do is fly. From myself, Liesl Wilson, and the rest of the team, goodbye for now.